Your Holiday Littles Edition. My name is Miss Eileen and I'm going to be working with you on the project. For today's project, we are going to be making this cute little snowman ornament. Now, the name of the program is called Create Your Holiday, and we name it that because the product or the final project that you end up making here today is intended to be a gift for someone next month during the holidays. So maybe you have a friend you want to gift it to, or a family member, anyone that you love and care for and you think would enjoy getting an ornament that you made as a gift this year. So you should have already received your Take and Make bag here at the library, and that's going to have everything that you need to complete today's project. Now caregivers, you are going to need to help during a few steps of this project, and caregivers and littles, I want you to listen up closely. There is going to be a point in the project where you have to let the project sit and dry for about an hour. So it's really going to be a two-part project, and it's going to take a little bit of patience on everyone's part, okay? So let's go ahead in just a minute. I want to go over what's in your Take and Make bag, and then we'll go ahead with part one, and then I'll show you what part two is after your project has dried for a little bit. Sound like a great idea? All right, let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go over everything that you received in your Take and Make bag, just to make sure that you have all the supplies. And then if for some reason you're missing anything, I would ask that you please reach out to me at the library. You can email me, you can call me, whatever's easiest for you and your caregiver little. All right, so what you should have in your Take and Make bag is a little square canvas, just like this. You're gonna have two big red pom-poms, a red fuzzy stick. You're gonna have three googly eyes. Now I gave you three in case one goes missing. You really only need two for this project. You're gonna have three Q-tips, a little container with some Elmer's glue, clear glue. You're also going to have a little button that looks like a carrot, and that's what we're gonna be using for the nose. Then you also have a gift tag and a little piece of string. Yours might look a little bit different than mine, different colors. And then, caregivers, you're also going to notice that there's a piece of blue painter's tape on the Take and Make bag, and we are going to be utilizing that in the first couple of steps here. So make sure to have that handy. That's where you're going to be helping out a little bit there, caregiver. Okay, so once you have all your supplies laid out, oh, I don't think I mentioned the crayon. There should be a crayon in there in your bag. Now mine broke, but yours should still be whole, hopefully. So that is what you're gonna need to work on today's project. Now, we're gonna jump right into the first part of this project. And the first thing that we're gonna do is I am going to go ahead and put a couple of things to the side. We don't need our pom-poms or the glue or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the canvas and my crayon, and I'm going to show you on my sample. So what I did, so here's my finished snowman, and what I did is on the back, I wrote my name and the year, 2022. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do that first. That way it's harder to write on it once we glue our objects on the front here. So what you're going to practice doing is writing your name the best you can and the year, so 2022. And caregivers, you might have to help with this part a little bit, but go ahead. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to write my name using my crayon, and then I'm gonna write the year right underneath that. And that way we know that I made this in 2022. All right, so that is step one. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip it over. So we have the white side of the front of the canvas. And now what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and glue on our nose and our eyeballs, and we're gonna draw our little charcoal pieces for the mouth, okay? So what you're gonna do is you are gonna take your little button nose, and you're gonna take your little container of glue and one of your Q-tips. Now there should be some tape around the lid of your container to make sure that it didn't pop open. Mine is the blue painter's tape, but I believe yours is gonna be clear. And then what you can do is you can just carefully open up the lid, and we're gonna use the Q-tips to help us put glue onto our button noses. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my Q-tip a little bit into the glue, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put some right on the back of the button. And then what you're gonna do is you are going to try to find the very center of your canvas. So right in the center is where you're gonna wanna try to put your button nose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine right there. And then I'm gonna push down very carefully and I'm gonna count to 5. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I have my button nose on my canvas. Now you can decide to either go ahead and put the eyeballs on, or you can draw the little circles for the charcoal mouth. So I'm gonna go with my eyeballs first. Now these are actually stickers, so you can just peel the back right off. There's a little white sheet of paper that should come off the back. And if for some reason that is not super easy for you to do, you can go ahead and glue your eyeballs on too. That's an option as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my second eyeball here. Let's see. See, the first one's backing came off really easily. Okay, so that one was a little bit more challenging. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those eyeballs right above my nose. So there we go, that's what mine looks like now. And then the last part of the mouth, is the mouth that we have to do. And so what you can see here on my sample is I just went ahead and drew a bunch of little circles for the mouth to act as little charcoal pieces. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my crayon and I'm gonna draw maybe, let's see, how many circles? I think 7 or 8 circles. And you can make yours as big as you want, as small as you want. If you don't even want to do circles for charcoal pieces, if you just want to draw a smile, you could do that too. And then I'm gonna go over mine again. I like to just make mine a little bit darker. So there is what my canvas looks like now. All right, so now what we're gonna do, and caregivers, this is where you're gonna have to help a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we want to add the pipe or the fuzzy stick to the top of our canvas as the headband on our little snowman's earmuffs. So what we're gonna wanna do is, this is where that piece of blue tape is gonna come in handy. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna take that fuzzy stick and you are going to start off by taping it to the side of the canvas. So on each side, the left and the right. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this blue piece of tape and I'm gonna tear it into 4 pieces. So littles, can you help your caregiver tear this into 4 pieces? All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so now caregivers, what you're gonna help do is you're gonna tape this onto the side a little bit, and I'll show a close-up view of this so you can really see how I'm doing this. And you just wanna kind of cover up a tiny part of the bottom there, just enough to hold it on. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the top here and you're just gonna kind of twist it in the center. And that's gonna make it so that you can tape down the top corners here as well. And again, I will show you a nice up close view of this. So here is what we've got. I know it looks funny, but I promise you that it is going to work out really well for what we need to do here. So you can see here I've taped it down. I've got this part not taped over because that's where we're going to put our glue down to make sure this stays on the side. Okay, so that is how we've taped it down. And now we're going to go and we're going to use our glue again. And once we're done with this part, this is where we have to be really, really patient, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and take another Q-tip and we're gonna load it up with glue. You want a lot of glue for this step, okay? And what you're gonna do, you're gonna load your Q-tip up with glue and you are gonna put glue all over this part right here of the fuzzy stick that's showing on both the left and the right. So you're just gonna put a bunch of glue, as much glue as you can get on there. Just gonna cover that whole thing, just like that. Okay. Okay, so once you have a bunch of glue on both this side and this side, you need to let this dry for about an hour. I would give it a good hour to be safe. And you can also touch it to see if it's dry, so maybe your house, maybe it'll dry a little bit quicker at your house. But go ahead and set it aside and let it dry for at least an hour. I would recommend at least an hour, okay? And once it's dried for at least an hour, then we can come back to the video and you can do part 2 to finish up your project, okay? So I'll be back in just a little while once that's done drying. All right, littles and caregivers, so now that our fuzzy stick has had about an hour to dry on our canvas, caregivers, I want you to help your little carefully peel back the tape. So I made a little sample one, and this dried for about an hour. And what you're gonna do, caregivers, is you're just gonna carefully peel off that painter's tape. And then what you should be left with, you can go ahead and unbend your fuzzy stick. And what you're going to be left with is now mine doesn't have the face on this one because that one is the one that I was working on. But what you'll notice is that now you have a fuzzy stick completely glued on to your canvas. Okay? And now we can do the last step, which is adding the pom-poms. And so what you're gonna do for this step, littles, is you're gonna take that last Q-tip we gave you, and you're gonna load this up with glue again. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna load up that Q-tip, and you are going to put glue on that side of your canvas again, right over where your fuzzy stick has dried, okay? Right over that. And then what you can do is you can take one of your pom-poms and then you're gonna squish it on the side there. Now I'm pushing down pretty hard, so try to use your muscles here, and you're gonna hold it. I would hold it for, let's count to 15. Can we count to 15 together? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, now gently try to let go, and you should see, it's gonna need time to dry again, but it's at least stuck on there. So now you can carefully turn it, and caregivers, you might have to help hold a part here. And you're gonna do the same thing on this side. So you're gonna load it up with glue. We're gonna load it up with glue. And then we're gonna take our pom-pom and we're gonna push it down and we're gonna count to 15. Can you count to 15 with me again? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. And so now you're gonna wanna let it dry again. So patience is needed here, but once it is dried, you are gonna have this lovely ornament. All right, and don't forget that we also included a gift tag for you with a little string. So what you can do is, caregivers, if you can help your little write to and who they want to gift it to, and then on the back they can write from and then their name again. And then you can go ahead and tie it onto your little snowman ornament and give it as a gift next month in December. Thank you guys for joining me today on Create Your Holiday Littles Edition. I hope you had so much fun making your little snowman ornament. Now, I would love to see any pictures or videos of you completing today's project, and I hope that whoever you decide to gift this to next month in December loves it just as much as you did making it and I did putting this project together. All right, I'll see you next time, littles. Bye.